draft. For now, this is Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.
A history-making day, not only for television, but for the National Football League.
It's obvious to me right now that the Jets just don't understand what the draft's all about.
First round selection, Lawrence Taylor.
Charlie Casserly, if you're listening, I will sign as the ninth quarterback.
The phone has finally rung for running back Thurman Thomas.
The surprise we've all been talking about, no quarterback, no Boomer Esiason. Whither the Boomer.
I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would have asked so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
The more you think you know, the less you realize you know.
15 years of the NFL draft here on ESPN. Boy, time flies when you're having fun. Lots of changes over the past decade and a half, from Billy Sims to Drew Bledsoe. The time has changed, the length has changed, but one thing hasn't changed. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere.
I'm Chris Mortensen with the Indianapolis Colts. They have the 2nd and 7th picks in the first round. They have a new draft boss in Bill Tobin, and I think they're going to have a new running back in Marshall Faulk.
Hi, I'm Tom Jackson here in New England with the Patriots. Bill Parcells in the catbird seat with the 4th choice overall in the first round. Right now, his phone is ringing off the hook. There could be a trade before the draft begins.
I'm Brad Nessler in Tampa, where for the 2nd straight year, the Bucs have the number 6 spot. If they don't trade down, look for them again to go to defense, and this time in the secondary, possibly Aaron Glenn of Texas A&M or Antonio Langham of Alabama.
I'm Gary Danielson with the Arizona Cardinals, and the story here is Buddy Ryan is in charge. He's already brought in 2 of his guys, Clyde Simmons and Seth Joyner, and today he's going to be choosing defense.
I'm Mark Malone with the Philadelphia Eagles. For the 2nd year in a row, the Birds have been hit hard by free agency, but they have 2 first-round picks in which to rebuild. A lot of holes to fill, but defense the priority.
This is Fred Edelstein. For the 2nd consecutive year, the 49ers lost to the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game because they couldn't stop Troy Aikman in the Dallas offense. The 49ers' mission, rebuild their defense, and today they have 2 first-round picks to do it with.
I'm Andrea Kramer at the Vikings complex, where Minnesota has 2 first-round picks for the first time in 20 years. And yes, another War Room cam will take you inside where the decisions are being made.
This is Chris Myers with the Cowboys. Jerry Jones operating his first draft without Jimmy Johnson. Dallas wants to trade up to draft a pass rusher. We'll show it to you on War Room Cam.
Hi, I'm Ron Jaworski at NFL Films. I'll open the NFL Draft Playbook to show you how today's top picks will fit in with their new NFL teams.
From Times Square in New York to the Red Square, we'll be with you from square one to square 222 for the 15th straight year of the NFL Draft here on ESPN. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and as somebody once sang, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. It's the 59th annual selection meeting, as they call it in the NFL, and as the rules change and the brave new world of the salary cap and teams and free agency, perhaps more than ever before, a premium on the 7 rounds of the NFL Draft to get a player that can come in and play with your ball club right away. We've moved the draft a little bit later, but that's only heightened the excitement as the phones and the teams have been buzzing all morning and now all afternoon long. And, of course, we've been buzzing just as well, and we'll do that. And we're glad you could pull up a chair and be with us for a while, as Joe Theismann and Mel Kiper have done for the umpteenth year. And we think we know who the first pick is. Young man named Dan Wilkinson, defensive tackle extraordinaire from Ohio State. Much bandied about that would the Bengals not be able to pay him? Would they not stay with him? But one thing is for sure, Mel, he's about as high a rated defensive lineman as you've seen. Is that correct?
I really think, Chris, he's one of the top 3 defensive linemen in the last decade, up there with Reggie White and Cortez Kennedy. You see the list of my ratings, 4 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Bruce Smith, Steve Empton, 9.9s. There's Big Daddy in there with Childress and Casillas. A big 6'4 1/4", 313-pounder, ran that 4.72 during an individual workout. 32 reps at 225, awesome weight room strength, a guy that can wreak havoc in the middle of the line, and that's what's in vogue now in the NFL, those dominant interior defensive tackles.
With Wilkinson so coveted, there are lots of people, Joe, that would offer lots of things, I mean players, I mean picks, for this number 1 pick. But Dan Wilkinson, Ohio State, Dayton, Ohio, Paul Brown, God rest his soul, I think would roll over in his grave if the Bengals didn't keep the pick. They're doing the right thing by going with him, aren't they?
They really are, Chris. I mean, just the proximity of where Ohio State is located to Cleveland, or to Cincinnati, excuse me, that's what really sets it. But David Klingler really was the key to this. He played very well at the end of last season. Bruce Coslet's evaluation of him is we don't need a quarterback. Therefore, we can go out and get somebody on defense to help us stop people from scoring, and we can win some more ball games.
Well, the referee has handed the ball to the commissioner. He's put it on the tee, admittedly back to the 30-yard line at this point. But to kick off the draft proceedings, let's go up to the podium and Commissioner Paul Tagliabue.
The 59th Annual National Football League Draft. The Cincinnati Bengals have the first selection, and they are now on the board.
Want me to handle it?